So we actually just signed a big deal with Hasbro. So next year you'll see Candyland and Rita's will be doing a game. So you'll be able to come into Rita's. You'll be able to get those game cards, tickets. And the cool part, if anybody remembers playing Candyland, I did when my kids were younger. They have the Ice Palace. So Candyland is actually renaming it to Ice Guy. And we'll actually have the Ice Guy sticking out of the Ice Palace for us. So this is just another way that we can turn around and bring higher visibility. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Social media is extreme for us. We have 720,000 friends on Facebook. We're doing a lot more with that. We've got some programs in 2013 that'll take us over 1 million. We just hired, we had one person. We hired 2 additional people full-time, just will do nothing but social media, blogging for Rita's. I'm a huge believer in that. I think that's how you connect to the customers. You can run all the TV advertisement you want or newspaper advertisement you want, but that doesn't really connect in. When you actually, can find a local connection with somebody, whether it's through them sending a picture via Instagram, whether it's through a mommy blog in your local town, that's the way. So we're investing a lot in that, and I see a huge opportunity for us to continue. We talked about the product development. This is just kind of year-to-date performance. You can see our numbers are up. We continue to improve on that. I think the only one that's off on this is we had 2 billion impressions as of yesterday. I pulled it. We're now at 6.5 billion impressions year-to-date. We'll continue to grow. Next year, we're looking at, we're up EBITDA 14% this year. Next year is looking at a 20% jump in EBITDA. At least that's what they just approved for me and told me I have to hit. So we'll see where that goes. The other cool, interesting things, if anybody's been to the MetLife Stadium recently, we are now selling Rita's in there. Pretty amazing. So we do on average about $45,000 in 4 hours selling Rita's at the game. It blows me away. They do, everyone's gone in and seen when you go into Rita's, the buckets. We do 360 buckets of ice that goes through in that 4 hours. So people really work hard and run it through. So it's been very successful. We are doing a lot with a number of other stadiums. Amusement parks, we're already in Six Flags. We're now going into more Six Flags. And we're working out some deals now to go into a number of the college stadiums because that's what every parent wants to see is their meal card spending for Rita's. I think that's us. But it'll be fun. And these are already the universities we're in. And we just went into ASU. That opened about, actually, 3 months ago. And it's done very, very well because it's literally right there and the kids just come through. EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation. It's profit. It's money.
Are they franchisees or are they company-owned?
100% franchised. That's my policy is that we don't want to own anything. I never want to be seen competing against my franchisees because if push comes to shove, where's my energy going to go? It'd go to the company-owned stores. So we had a couple. We got rid of them when I came on. I always want to be able to look every franchisee in the eye and say, hey, you only make money if I only make money. So, kind of the last key pieces is why it's been successful, why it keeps growing. With this new business model, the return for the franchisees has gone up significantly, and obviously that's why. Everybody wants, everyone around this room, whether whatever job you do, you want to have a job you like, you enjoy, but you're not doing it for free. You want to do it so you can make money, and what we did is we really looked at what can we do to make sure that our model makes the most possible money for the franchisees, because there is no way where we can be successful without our franchisee being successful. And I think that's something that a lot is always missed in business. People always look out for themselves, but don't look out for the rest of their partners. And that's one of the most important things is we've got to win, and you've got to win. That's it. Try to keep it simple. Short questions.
How's it different between working for a private equity firm or hedge fund versus a public company as far as demands on you with performance and profit and affordability and accountability? How's it different?
I worked for Gary Wendt when I was at GE Capital, and depends what books you read and everything else like that. And Jack Welch, I had no problems whatsoever. It's one of those things where it's like in every one of your jobs, if you say you're going to do something and you do it, then there's no issues. It's when you say you're going to do something, you don't follow through. So the private equity firm, they're looking, obviously, you know, you can't own a company more than 10 years, but the average hold time is 5 to 7 years. So they're looking for significant growth in 5 to 7 years. We are different than a lot of the private equity and hedge funds. We don't go in and do financial engineering and leverage. Our policy is never to have more than a 50-50, 50% in loans and the 50% equity. So we're not a lot of like some of the other ones that come in, they'll do a 90%, they'll turn around, they'll financial engineer, they'll get rid of a bunch of employees, hold it for 2 or 3 years, the numbers look great, and they'll sell it to somebody else or take it public. Our approach is come in with a plan, you grow the business from there, and just do it, you know, a nice steady growth.
So you won't be running for president?
Not after getting fired from McDonald's, that wouldn't work.
Jonathan, what have you done kind of personally, professionally, that's helped you, you know, propel you to your success?
I think one of the biggest things, and it depends how you like it or not, my staff, I've always hired really good people, but one of the things I'm a firm believer is giving people, you know, all my executives full accountability, but also full authority. Because most jobs, you get tons of accountability, but you don't have the authority. So I come in and say, hey, listen, you know, here's the, you know, I set the vision and the goal for the company, then obviously each department head needs to figure out how to interpret and implement that vision and goal. But they have a budget, they have their numbers, they have their cash to spend however they want to. If they need to make a mid-course correction and that's what they believe is they need to do, then absolutely. So I don't make them come check in with me. You know, I'll give you a huge difference between me and the organization before. My first week on the job, I got this. My assistant brought me a stack of documents this high, and it was literally every communication that was going outside the company. Well, the previous CEO required that every document he had to personally review and sign off on before it could leave. And I'm like, first of all, if that's the case, then you guys are all fired because I'm doing your job. I said, no, you're responsible for it. This is what the vision is. This is what you need to execute to.
And have you ever had a mentor throughout your career that, you know, has helped you, or has everything been learned, you know, like on your own through
trial and error? You know, I've made a pretty good career out of going into companies, doing turnarounds, and then moving on. You know, staying in a company for 2 or 3 years was kind of my sweet spot. You know, for me, if a company's in kind of steady operational stage where it's just, you know, normal, I get really bored. So I'm not the person for that. And I go into companies for when they need rapid growth and change, and I stay through that process. And once the massive growth is over with, and I'm not the right person. But I think through life, yeah, you always meet different people through the organization. As Mark said, I'm on the board of directors for Meals on Wheels in San Francisco, and I've been on the board now for 10 years. I love it. And you know, the director, great guy, came actually from the East Coast. So a good mentor, and like how to balance out, you know, not only the work side of it, but also what do you need to do to help out other individuals and other people. So I look at how can you do all those things together.